Have you ever found yourself repeating the same instruction over and over and over again? Correcting the same behavior day after day. And you're wondering if your child is going to learn. What if I told you that there is a better way? A way that doesn't just modify a behavior in the moment, but a way that empowers your child to manage his or her behaviors, even when you are not there. Join me today on the Parenting Talk Show with Coach Ayolua as we explore how to teach your children to manage their behavior. How to teach your children to manage their behavior. By the way, happy Easter Sunday. Happy Easter, happy Easter. Yes, he's risen. Jesus is risen. He's no longer in the grave. Yes, we are victorious. We are victorious. Thank you for joining me in today's edition of the Parenting Talk Show with Coach Ayolua. My name is Ayolua Adedeji, and I am the founder and the lead consultant at the Model Family Focus. At the Model Family Focus, we teach parents how to parent their children. Yes, that is what we do. We teach parents how to parent their children, how to raise well-rounded children without compromising discipline. So today we are exploring another topic: how to teach your children to be able to manage their behavior even when you are not there. Yes, it is possible. It is possible to raise children who will do what is expected of them to do, what you expect them to do, even when you are not there with them. The goal of parenting isn't to raise perfect children. No, I've said this over and over again. The goal of parenting is not to raise perfect children, but the goal is to raise self-governed children. Self-governed children. Children who can take decisions on their own, who can know what to do as at when and what not to do, even when no one is watching them, even when no one is there. Children who will do the right thing out of being aware of who they are and not out of fear. Not because they are afraid of anyone, not because they are afraid of their parents or teacher or anyone, but because they know who they are and they know what they stand for. They know their family vision, they know their family values, what they stand for, and they take decisions based on this, these things. Sorry about that. I went offline. So the goal of parenting is not to raise perfect children. No, that's not what we are talking about. That's not what we want to achieve, because in the actual sense, no one can raise a perfect child. No. But the goal is to raise self-governed children. Children who will take decisions based on who they are, based on their family visions and family values, not out of fear. Not out of fear. In parenting, it is easy to focus on short-time obedience. Stop that, don't do this, don't talk this way, don't talk back at adults, this is how to do things, this is not how to do things. But our real goal isn't just compliance. That is not our real goal. Our real goal isn't just compliance, it is character. Character. We are not just raising children who do the right thing because we are there to correct them. We are raising future adults who can lead themselves. Future adults who can lead themselves. We are not just raising children. No. We are not raising children who will do things because we, the parents, are there with them. No. We are raising children who will do the right thing with or without our presence. That is the goal of parenting. Parenting is not just about compliance. If all you demand from your children is compliance, then there's something wrong with your parenting. There's something wrong with your parenting, and you need to work on that. That's that's the art of self-governance. When a child learns to pause, reflect, and respond, not react. The art of self-governance is when a child is able to pause, reflect, and respond, not react. When children begin to internalize values, regulate their emotions, and make choices based on who they are becoming, not just what they are feeling. That is why I keep saying, if you are parenting in this era, in this generation, and you don't have a family vision, family values, your perceptual code, your family tag, I am telling you for free that you are parenting in error. And the end result is that you are going to raise confused adults. Your children are going to grow up confused. They will not know where they belong to and who they are. They will not know who they are. So you need your family vision. The first thing that we get our client to do at the Model Family Focus is to run assessments, parenting diagnosis assessments. These assessments will touch light into your parenting to let you know what you are doing right and what you need to improve on. It will reveal your current state in your parenting journey. After that, it will bring out the strength of your child, the weaknesses, your child's personality, and how your personality can influence your children. After that is done, we encourage our clients to get their family system installed. If you don't have your family system installed, then it is a parenting error. It is a parenting error. So your children, your family system will empower your children to know who you are, who they are, who you are as a family, what you stand for, your family vision, your family mission, your family values. A family without vision is like a ship without a compass, roaming about. Of course, you know what the end result is. It's going to be chaos. It's going to be chaos. So you need to get your family system installed. This will empower your children to take decisions based on who they are, because they will know, they will understand who they are as a person and as a family. They will understand what they stand for, and this will guide them to take decisions even when no one is there to watch them. So what does it mean for children to be able to manage their behaviors? What does it mean for children to be able to manage their behaviors? It means that they are self-aware. It means that they know who they are. Self-awareness is the foundation of self-control. Did you get that? Self-awareness is the foundation of self-control. Self-awareness is the foundation of self-control. Sometimes when our children misbehave, we don't need to shout, we don't need to beat, we don't need to, do anything serious. We just ask them, who are you? And once that statement comes out, they understand, who are you? Who are you? Even when they are doing something, I want them to stop. Most times, you don't have to tell them, hey, stop doing that. No, we just ask, who are you? And once that statement comes out, they know that they are doing what they are not supposed to do. They know that their actions contradict who they are, who we are as a family. They are aware of who they are. One of the things we have taught our children is that they are royalty. We are royalty. That's our family perceptual code. We are royalties. We are people of honor. We are people of grace. And there are things that a royalty shouldn't do. And they know. One of the things that they know that royalty shouldn't do, we have taught them that there's no nudity in the palace. Royalty lives in the palace. So as a royalty, you are not expected to expose your body, to expose yourself. No, they understand. And one of the days we were reviewing we're having family meeting and we're reviewing our family values, digital master plan and all that. And our son said something very profound. Our son is just 5 years old, going to 6 years. And he mentioned someone, he said, "Mommy, see this person, she's not a royalty. She's a slave." I said, "Wow, why did you say that?" She said, "Because she doesn't cover herself, she doesn't dress well. So she's one of the slaves." So when she understand that, he understand that he's a royalty, he's not expected to expose himself. Even when we are not there, he is aware of who he is. He knows what he should do and what he should not do. So being self-aware means understanding who you are. It means helping your child to recognize what they are feeling, why they are feeling it, and how these feelings influence their thoughts and actions. A self-aware child would say, "I am feeling angry," instead of reacting impulsively. Because a self-aware child is able to regulate his or her emotions. Raising self-aware children means you, the parents, helping them to understand what they are feeling, why they are feeling the way they are feeling, and how their feeling can influence their thoughts and their actions. So a self-aware children are children that are in control of their emotions. They are in control of their feelings. And once they are in control of their feelings, they can actually take control of their actions. This is why it's so important to give your children name for emotions early on. Teach your children emotional vocabularies. I keep saying this over and over again. One important strategy for you to raise a self-aware child is to teach your children emotional vocabulary early on. All through 2024, that was our family goal. That was what we achieved. Teaching our children about their feelings, about emotions, how they can express their emotions, how they can label their emotions, how they can communicate their emotions, and how they can manage it. When children can name their emotions, they can tame their emotions. Did you get that? When children are able to name their emotions, they will be able to tame their emotions, even as adults. The feelings, the emotions that you cannot label, you cannot tame it, you cannot handle it. A lot of us don't even know the difference between being angry and being sad, even as adults. We were not taught. Some of us don't know the difference between being lonely and being sad. You need to teach your children all this vocabulary, emotions vocabulary. Yes. Language for emotions. You need to teach them, and you need to start early. I had to take a course on emotional intelligence. I had to take a course. I had to read a book. Yes, I read a specific book. Emotional intelligence in a nutshell. Yes, I recommend the book for you if you have not read the book. The book is very, very good in teaching emotional intelligence for you and even for your children. I think the author is Deborah Michelin or something. I can't remember really. Emotional intelligence in a nutshell. Yes, I had to read a book. I had to take a course for me to be able to understand my emotions. Because if you are not able to understand, you are not able to label, you are not able to identify and manage your emotions, you can't parent effectively. That's why you say things that you're not supposed to say as a parent to your child, because you're angry, because your children are misbehaving, you eat, you shout, you do all this. It is because you are emotionally irresponsible. You are not emotionally intelligent. That is what it means. That you are not emotionally intelligent. You are not emotionally intelligent. So raising children who are able to manage their behaviors means raising children who are self-aware. They know who they are. They know how they are feeling. They understand their feelings. They understand why they are feeling the way they are feeling. And they understand how their feelings can influence their actions and thoughts. What does it mean for children to be able to manage their behavior? It means that they are able to regulate their emotions by themselves. Once a child becomes aware of his or her emotions, the next step is learning how to manage them. Learning how to manage them. Learning how to manage them. Most adults, most parents don't even know how to manage their emotions. They don't know how to manage their emotions. Emotional regulation is the ability to pause before reacting. Emotional regulation means being aware of your feelings, being able to identify, being able to label, and being able to manage your feelings, and being able to respect the feelings of others. Yes. So when a child is able to regulate his or her emotion, to manage his or her emotions, using calming strategies such as deep breathing, walking away, counting slowly, reading, drawing, and many more, that means that child can manage his or her emotions, his or her behavior, even when no one is there. There was a day our son came back from school and he was narrating how someone got him angry at school. Like I said, he's just 5 years going to 6. He said he was very angry. He said, I was very angry. But I just remember that mommy taught us that when we are angry, we should count. I said, he said, I felt like eating him. And I remember, and I started counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. By the time I get to 10, I started smiling. That is a child who is able to manage his behavior, even when we are not there, even without the child knowing. That is what it means to raise children who can manage their behaviors. That is what it means. Staying grounded even when upset. He said, I was very angry and I feel like eating him. There are times that our daughter will say, Mommy, I'm very angry and I feel like eating my brother, but I just started counting and I felt better. All right. Children aren't born with this ability. No one is born with such abilities. It is a learned skill. That is why we need to be intentional. You can't parent anyhow. You can't parent anyhow. You need to be intentional. It must be taught. It must be modeled. It must be practiced. Emotional regulation must be taught because no one is born with that skill. No one. It is a learned skill. So you need to teach it, you need to model it, you need to practice it. You need to practice it. So if you are emotionally irresponsible as a parent, I can say with exactitude that you are going to raise children who are also emotionally irresponsible. Children who are emotionally irresponsible. One of the things I started working on was my emotions. That's why sometimes I look at parents when they say, Why will you say we should not beat our children? Why do you say we should not shout? I cannot do without shouting. I cannot do without this. You can do without shouting. You just don't know that you can do it. Or maybe you don't know how to do it. The first thing I started working on was my emotions. How to put my emotions under control. How to be in charge of my emotions. Will you get angry? Yes. Your children will do things that will get you angry. They will get you upset. They will do things you would have taught them so many things. Don't do this. This is how to do this. This is how to do that. And sometimes they still mess up. But when you are in charge of your emotions, when you are emotionally responsible, even in that state of anger, even in that state of being upset, you will still be able to do the right thing. You will be able to do the right thing. Sometimes when I get angry, there was one Friday recently, before this term runs out, there was one Friday I can't forget in a hurry. These children came back from school. We have our routine from wake up time to school time to when they are back from school and all that. They know what to do. It's not a new thing in our home. It's not a new thing. We did it together. And they came back from school. Within 5-10 minutes, they turned the house upside down. As in, they know where to keep their lunch bag. They know where to keep their school bag. They know where to do. They turned everything upside down. And I had a lot of things at hand to do. I need to do some things online. I need to do this. And I was like, but you know you should do this. But you know you shouldn't do this. They were really getting on my nerves. You know what I did? I just told them, you know, as I am, I need to excuse myself. One of them said, Mommy, are you feeling angry? I said, yes, I'm feeling very angry. So I need to excuse myself. And I excused myself. I went inside the room. I picked the book. And I was reading. After a few minutes, I calmed down. And I came back. And they knew that as I went inside, I was angry. So they quickly tidied up. They did what they have to do. You know, they put things in place. And when I came out, they said, Mommy, are you still angry? I said, no. I'm now feeling okay. If it was me, if it was me, the me before, they know they would have received bass up and down. But because I have learned to put my emotions under control, even without me telling them what to do exactly, because they knew and they know that I am now feeling upset, they were able to put things together. So that is how I model my emotions at that time. And sometimes I find out that our children are doing that too. Excuse me, sometimes when they are angry, say, Mommy, please, I like to be alone. I'm feeling angry. Fine, it's okay. If you need time to process your feelings, it's okay. You can have your time. Emotional regulation. And these skills must be taught, must be practiced, and must be modeled. It takes time, but with conscious and continuous effort, you will raise children who can manage their emotions perfectly, who can be in charge of their emotions perfectly without anybody telling them. Every time you help your children to calm down instead of punish them for being upset, you are building that muscle. I've seen parents who will punish a child for getting angry. I've heard parents say, "Hey, why are you angry? Is it because of this? Why are you angry? Why are you tying face for me?" Punishing children for their feelings, that is not right. That is not right in any way. At that time, what you need to do is to help them. Help them. That moment is supposed to be a teachable moment to teach them how to manage their feelings. No feelings is negative. Anger. At the Modern Family Focus, anger is a positive feeling. Yes, sadness is a positive feeling. No feelings is a negative feeling. Yes, all you need to do is to be able to put your feelings under your control. under your control. What does it mean to be what does it mean for children to be able to manage their behavior? It means that they understand consequences. It means they understand consequences. One of the effective strategies that you can use to raise children who can behave well, who can manage their behavior without anyone, is making them to understand consequences. Making them to understand consequences, natural and logical consequences. They are powerful teachers. They are powerful teachers. When children understand the connection between choices and outcome, they start thinking more critically. When they understand that if I do this, this is what will happen, they think deeply, they engage their brain before they act. Sometimes ago, our children came back from school, and funny enough, that week in our weekly curriculum, we have a family curriculum of what we teach our children every week. So that week we were teaching time management. Yes, time management. So on their way to school, as I was walking them to school, I taught them about time management, how to manage their time, what time management is, how to prioritize tasks and all that. And this very day, they came back from school. They knew we don't watch TV during the week. The only time they can watch TV is on weekend, and it's 2 hours, sometimes 30 minutes, 20 minutes. And it's usually educative things, maybe documentary, or they watch songs. There's no endless time on screen, and they know. So when they were supposed to write their own phone, our son on TV, and he was playing music. I said, but you know that you shouldn't on the television. I said, I know, I just feel like I just want to listen to music. I sat down. Usually when they come back, when they want to write their own phone, I stay with them so that I can know whether they need my help or something. So I was telling you, I said, I'm waiting for you in case you need my help to do your own phone. He said, nah, when I finish. He was dancing. He was, his elder sister said, we learned about time management and you are wasting your time. He said, no, I can waste my time and still be fast. I said, wow, this is interesting. All right. After some minutes, his sister said, time wasted is life wasted. He said, no, you will see. I will waste time and I will still meet up. Fine. So I stood up. I went to do what I had to do. I left him. He danced from one song to another. From one song to another. He danced. He enjoyed himself. You would have thought that I should be shouting. I should force him to go and take his own phone. I have taught him. We have taught him. He knows. He knows our family routine. He knows he shouldn't do this, but he's pushing boundary. Fine. There is consequences for that. So when he was satisfied, sorry about that, the network went off. So he turned off the TV and he picked his book. Hey, mommy, I'm ready. I said, wow, it's okay that you're ready. You can face your own phone. I said, mommy, but please, I need your help. My help? Not now. I have things to do. I sat down there. You were not ready. Now you are ready. I have other things to do. Funny enough, there was no lights. There was no lights for him. So he waited. He was struggling. I don't have your time now. The daddy his daddy came back, he gave his book to daddy. His daddy was like, why are you just doing your own phone now? He couldn't talk. Later, his daddy had to attend to other things. Daddy left him. He was struggling. He was struggling. He would get up from here, move to this place. He struggled. Eventually, he finished his own phone around 7, after 7 p.m. It was already going dark. By himself. I didn't even talk. Since I answered him, I said, I'm busy. I have given you time. You weren't ready for me. And now I have things to do. As he was finishing the phone, he said, I will never try this again. I will never try this thing again. I will always finish my own phone before I do anything. And since that day, he never tried that, because he now understands the consequences that I'm not going to help him if he needs my help. So when children understand consequences, they will think critically before they act. He said it by himself. I don't need to beat him. I don't need to shout. So I don't need to. You face the consequences, natural consequences. You face it. And you cook certain food and your child doesn't want to eat. And not that your child is allergic to it and you are forcing that child to eat. What does that mean? Let the child face natural consequences. Her daughter did that sometimes. If she faced the natural consequences, oh fine, you don't want this. It's not that you are allergic to it. If you are allergic to it, that's okay. I will consider your request. But you are not allergic to it, you just don't want it. Family meal, no. You face the natural consequences. You stay hungry. After all, you will not die. That's what my daughter will say, if you don't eat this food, you will not die. Nobody will die. You will not die. So natural and logical consequences are perfect and powerful teachers. When children understand the connection between choices and outcome, they will think critically. They will engage their brain before they start acting. For example, if your children understand that if you leave your toys outside, it will get damaged. And when it gets damaged, no one is buying another toy for you. They understand. They will take care of that toy. They will take care. Consequences shouldn't feel like punishment. No. They should feel like learning. That's why I usually say that discipline is teaching. Consequences should teach, not punish. Consequences to teach should teach children lesson. This will help children to internalize responsibility and become thoughtful decision makers. Yes, if they internalize responsibility, they know that if I do this, this is what will happen. They will become thoughtful decision makers. They won't just take decision impulsively. They won't just act on impulse. They know. They will think. They will become thoughtful decision makers. What it means for children to be able to manage their behavior, making value-based choices. The highest level of self-management is when your child makes decisions based on who they are. Like I said earlier, based on who they are, not what they can go with. The highest level of self-management is when your child can make decisions based on who your child is, based on what they stand for, what you stand for as a family, and not just what they can get away with. What does this mean in actual sense? It means teaching your children your core family values. See, everything around behavior is about family values. If you don't have family value, I said it earlier, you are going to raise adults who are confused. You are going to raise confused adults. That is what it is. Teach your children what your family stands for. Teach them who they are. If you ask our children, what is your name? They're not just going to stop at telling you, my name is Ayolu Adedeji. No. They are more than that. And they know. They know the kind of family they come from. They know what we stand for. They know. They understand. And that guides them, even as little children. It does. It means teaching your children your family core values, such as kindness, honesty, integrity, discipline, love, loyalty, name it, based on your family vision. You set up your family values, your core family values, based on your family vision. Based on your family vision. What is your family vision? What is it? What is family vision? Family vision is what, in a simple sentence, what you envision, what you, where you expect your family to be, your children to be in the next 10, 20, or few years to come. That's your family vision. Where you are expecting your family to be, who you want every member of your family to be in the nearest future. And what is family values? Family value, in a simple sentence, is one decision. One single decision that guides every other decision. That guides every other decision. You need your family value, your family vision to raise well-rounded children. Don't raise confused adults. Don't raise confused adults. Have these things in place. Teach them, leave them, expose them to your children early on, and you can be assured that you are going to raise children who can manage their behavior even without your presence. Are your children going to be perfect? Of course, no. That's not what I'm saying. You can't raise perfect children. Know this and know peace. But your children will behave well. Most times, when people get to meet our children, I hear compliments like, oh, you have good children. You have wonderful children. Oh, you are so lucky. God bless you with wonderful children. And I smiled. Because God gave everybody wonderful children. God is not a partial God. My children are not wonderfully, if there's a word, if there is a word like that I can use. My children are not better than any other children. That is the truth. Our children are not, they are not different from any other children. So to say, the difference is the intentionality. Intentionality. Being able to impute some things at this tender age, being able to model some things, being able to teach values, putting our family vision in place, and communicating with our children every time. That's what makes the difference. There are things that our children will not do, not because they are perfect. Auntie Esther, shout out to you. Happy birthday to you. Thank you for joining me. Happy birthday. There are things that our children would not do. Not because they are perfect children. No, not at all. But because they have realized who they are. Who they are. Do they still make error? Yes, of course, they do. There's room for mistakes. They still make errors. But there are things that they will not do, even as young as they are. They would not do. They will not do. I shared on my Facebook page, not quite long, how I was taking our children to school. Usually when we are going to school, we talk, we teach them, we have things, we have meaningful conversations. So this morning, that very morning, I was teaching them about I was telling them a story. I was using storytelling. Yes, I just remembered. I said, okay, let me share this story with these children. So I started narrating with them that when I was young, I used to steal money from my mom's purse. Before I finished, her daughter said, mommy, we too we used to steal money from your purse too. Hey, I paused. Wow, used to steal money. She said yes. She narrated how they normally steal money from my purse. Usually on Sunday evening, we like to have siesta. Our Sunday is usually busy. So after church, after lunch, we take time to rest, to prepare for the following week. So while we are sleeping, there's usually one man that sells this local ice cream. This ice cream that they put in, what is this biscuits, one wafers, those guys that they push their mobile ice cream ahead. Now that they will be the machine will be singing. Usually I don't like buying from them. We prefer to buy a bowl of ice cream. So each time the guy comes around, they would say they want to buy ice cream. No, don't buy. Your daddy will buy this, will buy this, and will buy for them. But children. So they narrated to me that day how they will take money from my purse to go and buy the ice cream. This is something that has happened over a year ago. I was shocked. I was surprised. I asked our son, is that true? He said, yes, mommy. That's how we normally steal from your purse. I said, okay. That's okay. But you shouldn't do that. One of them said, we didn't know who we were then. The other person said, now that we know that we are royalty, we cannot do that again. That was profound. They were still young, even though we have been teaching them, these are family vision. But as they are growing, they are getting to understand what it means, what we stand for as a family, what are our family core values. They said, no, that time we didn't know who we are. But now that we know who we are, we cannot steal again. We cannot do that again. Making value-based choices. They now know that they are royalty. That they are royalty. Royalty shouldn't steal. They know, and I was very happy. I was happy. So I really didn't need to do much of talking. I just explained to them, I reminded them why it is not good to steal from any source, whether from your parents or whoever, how to build trust, and why we didn't want them to patronize the ice cream seller. When we raise children who can make choices based on our family values, then we are raising children who will be able to manage their behavior even without anyone's presence, without raising anyone, without anyone's presence. You can reflect on your choices by asking questions. Ask your children questions. Engage them on meaningful conversation. Ask them, what was kind? What do you think you should do? Use teachable moments, to reflect on your values, on your family vision, what you stand for. Sometimes when our children do some things, we just need to ask them, what you just did, does it portray who we are? Does it reflect who we want to be? That is teaching them to make value-based choices. Teaching them to make value-based choices. And when they choose rightly, celebrate. Don't just complain. Don't just teach. When they make right choices, do well to celebrate them. Sometimes when they do well, we used to be specific. Oh, I love how you share with your siblings. Oh, I love how you spoke with that person. I love how you did this. We recognize the effort you put into this to achieve this. We celebrate. So celebrate little win. It will encourage them. When values become internalized, discipline becomes less about rules. Yes, when values become internalized, when your children understand your values, discipline becomes less about rules and more about relationship. There are things that when our children do, we don't even need to remind them. They know the consequences. They know. And sometimes our daughter will say, I know I have to face these consequences because I did this. It's not by giri. No. They understand that making value-based choices. Now, how do we build block of self-management in children? Like I said earlier, these skills are not inborn. Yes, they are not inborn. Don't think that my children will grow up. When they grow up, they will be able to do things on their own. It is a parenting error. Never settle for that. So building blocks of self-management in children. Teach emotional vocabulary. I have said that. Do not joke with this. Teach emotional vocabularies. Teach emotional vocabularies. Let your children be able to label their emotions, their feelings. Use routines and structure to build autonomy. Use routines. Have daily routines, weekly routines, monthly routines, quarterly routines, yearly routines. There are things that we do every day in our home. Every day. Every day. If by chance we miss a day, you will hear our children say, oh, mommy, daddy, we missed it. We didn't do our reading yesterday. Oh, mommy, please, let's read. Let's do our reading. Daddy, please, read for us and all that. Daily routine. Hug. Connection moment. Structure. Put structure in place. Put structure in place. Run your family as business. No business thrive without structure, without system. They only survive. Family also will do well when systems and structures are put in place. So use routines. Let your children get used to it. Once they get used to these routines and structures, there are times you won't even need to remind them. They will do things on their own. It may take time. Yes, it's not a day job. It's not what you do once and you think they will get used to it. No, they are not. But with consistency is a game changer. So use routines, use structures to build autonomy. Reflective practices. We are talking about building block of self-management in children. Reflective practices such as pause and think and all that. Sometimes in our home we do role play. We act drama to teach values, to make them reflect. We act. Yes, parenting is not a joke. Parenting is not a joke. Building block of self-management. Allow natural and logical consequences. Don't shield your children from consequences. From natural consequences. Don't shield them. Let them face natural consequences. It may not be easy, but it's the right thing. When you allow children to face natural and logical consequences, be sure that you are raising children who will be able to manage their behavior with or without anyone. Do daily check-ins and accountability system. Daily checking. Check. What is it that we did well today? What is it that we need to work on? What is it that we have done? What is it that we have not done? In our house, we have charts. We have behavioral charts that we feel. We have them. So this will guide us to know where our children are improving, where we need to work on, what we the parents need to do more. It's not parenting is not all about children, it's about parents, it's about us parents, it's about us. So we do check-ins. What are the things that we still need to do? What are the things that we are not doing right? What are the things that we are doing well that we need to continue doing? What are the things that we need to improve on? So do daily check-in and put accountability systems in place. There are conversations that shape behavior, and you may want to, have such conversations with your children. Yes, there are conversations that shape behavior, such as asking your children what they were feeling before they act. For instance, your child eats someone, instead of shouting, yelling and all that, ask your child, what were you feeling before you eat? What could you do differently next time? What value are you showing? What you just did, does it reflect who we are as a family? Those are conversations that you can have that will shape your children's behavior. You can also encourage ownership and accountability. How? Goal setting with your child. Set goal. In our behavioral chart, there's a session for setting weekly goals. And when we do our check-in, we will see what our children did wrong previous week. Is a daily, workbook. Yes, daily workbook. But weekly we sit and we review. And sometimes in a week we will see that they were not able to be in charge of their emotions, and we will set goal based on that for the next week. That next week, even when I'm angry, I will count or I will walk away. And when we put these things in place, it will help the children, it will guide them. We set the goal together with them. We don't just dictate for them that don't eat back when someone eats as you know. In fact, sometimes we just ask them, what do you think you would do better if this situation arises again? And they will come up with their goal by themselves, and it will really help them. Also, how to encourage ownership and accountability. Have weekly behavioral check. Have meeting. If due to your family dynamics and your family, systems, you can't have weekly, you can make it monthly, anyone that works for you. But make sure that you meet regularly to have behavior checking meetings. Check. What are our children doing well? What do we need to improve? What do we need to teach them more? Put reward systems that recognize effort and responsibility. Put reward system that recognize effort and responsibility. Like I said earlier, your children are able to make good choices. Applaud them. Celebrate them. No matter what. The day our son told me that someone got him angry in school, he was really angry, that he really wanted to hit the person, but he remembered and he started counting. I gave him a hug. I said, wow, this is really good. So you were able to control yourself. He said, no, I didn't hit him. Even though I was feeling like hitting him, but I didn't hit him. By the time I count to 10, before I count to 10, I was smiling. That is huge. That is not a small win. Most adults cannot do that. Yes, most adults cannot do that. And I told him that we are so proud of you. We are so proud of you that you can manage your emotions. Even when you're angry, give me a hug. That's recognizing effort. It takes a whole lot to be able to hold it back when you are angry and you feel like eating. So put reward systems and recognize effort and responsibility. When your child feel like their behavior belongs to them, not to you, they start making better choices because they want to, not because they are afraid of you. Let me take this again. When your child feels that their behavior belongs to them and not you, they start making better choices because they want to. Because they want to, not because they are afraid of you. If your children are acting under fear, believe me, there's something wrong with your parenting. There's something wrong with your parenting. And I will tell you that when you are no longer there, your children will misbehave. That is when parents will say something like, my children will watch TV all through if I'm not around. So when I'm going out, I disconnect the decoder. Why? If you have taught your children to understand why they need to stay away from screen for certain time, they will do the right thing even when you are no longer there. Even when you are no longer there, they will. So when children feels that they are responsible for their own behavior and that you, the parents, are not responsible, they know that they are responsible for their behavior, they begin to make better choices. They will make better choices. They will. And this is not because they are afraid of you. It is because they want to. Because they actually understand why they should do what they need to do. And when they fail, what should we do? Teach through mistakes. They will fail. Even sometimes as parents, even me, as a parenting expert, as a parenting coach, with all that I've learned in parenting, I still make errors. I still make errors. And I'm still learning. We are still learning. We are still learning. From time to time, we keep checking ourselves. We keep checking our parenting styles. We keep checking what we are not doing well. And we are constantly working on ourselves. So, we shouldn't expect perfection from children. So when they fail, when they make blunders, when they make error, we should teach through mistakes. We should use this moment as teachable moments and not punishable moments. Failing forward is essential in learning self-control. Failing forward is essential in learning self-control. I say it again. Failing forward is essential in learning self-control. Mistakes are not the enemy, not at all. They are the doorway to growth. Mistakes are not the enemy. They are not. They are the doorway to growth. Our job isn't to protect our children from every mistake. Our job as parents is to guide them. To guide them through the learning that comes after the mistake. Your job as a parent is not to guide yourself. I see parents guiding their parents, shielding their parents, protecting their parents. I don't want my children to make mistakes. I want my children to be perfect. I want my children to do this. I want my children to... Shielding their children. You don't want to do that. You shouldn't do that. Your job is not to protect your children from mistake. As a matter of fact, I do say it. Give your children platform to make mistakes at home so that they will be able to manage their mistakes. So that when they fail, they will be able to manage their failure. And no child will want to commit suicide because you fail exams. How many exams? Because you fail exam of all things. But because their parents has failed them, they have failed to teach them how to handle mistakes by allowing them to make mistakes. Their children has put on the perfectionism, perfectionism. Want our children to be perfect. You must be perfect. You must not fail. You must not do this. You must not do that. So your job as a parent is to guide your children through the learning that comes after the mistakes. Imagine your child in 10 years to come. 10 years from now, just imagine, maybe your child is 10 years now. Just imagine, by the time your child is 20 years, imagine your child walking through a difficult situation and choosing wisely. Choosing wisely. Not because you are there to tell your child what to do. No, you are not there. But because your child have learned to manage him or herself. Can you imagine that? Yes. That is the future we should build today. That is the future we should build today. A future where our children will be able to make value-based choices, value-based decisions. Not because we are there to guide them. Of course, you and I know that we can't be with them all through their lives. We cannot. That is why we need to prepare our children for the road and not the road for our children, because you will not always be there to clear the path for them. You will not always be there. So instead of preparing the road for your children, prepare your children for the road, so that even when you are not there, they will take informed decisions. They will make value-based choices that you will be proud of. So I challenge you today to choose one practice from today and commit to it for the next 7 days and even more. And I'm waiting to hear your progress. My name is Ayoluwa Adedeji. I am the founder. I am a proud founder. I'm so proud because what the Model Family Focus is doing in parenting is huge. Yes, it's huge. And every Sunday by 2 p.m. we are here talking about parenting, changing the narratives of parenting, doing things, challenging all the normalized nonsense in parenting. So join me every Sunday by 2 p.m. See, everything that you're going to learn on this platform, on this show, the Parenting Talk Show with Coach Ayoluwa, they're worth thousands of naira. And you are here receiving it for free. All you need to do is to take your time to implement what you are learning. And I can tell you with confidence that your parenting journey is going to receive a turnaround. Is it going to be smooth? I'm not promising you that. But at the end, you will notice that something actually changed. Join me next week Sunday by 2 p.m. this platform as we dive into another interesting topic on parenting. Until next time, keep parenting with intention.